special board meeting will now come to order. Pledge of allegiance to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, please?
Dr. Keenan?
Here.
Let me say that again because I wasn't on the mic. Dr. Keenan?
Here.
Ms. Westbrooks? Here. Ms. Avery-Prease?
Here.
Let the record reflect that Dr. Blahoviak is absent,
Yes.
excused,
Yes.
and Ms. Fisher. Here.
Do we have any communications for tonight?
No, I have none.
Madam President,
Ms. Fisher?
thank you. Just a reminder, tomorrow morning from 10 to 12 at Heritage Middle School, there will be a workshop given by the City of East Cleveland for a presentation on white trash. I just wanted to put that in there.
Ms. Fisher is actually given by the East Cleveland Board of Education.
Thank you, Ms. Courtney.
You're welcome.
What did you say?
That is given by the East Cleveland Board of Education as a result of Board Member Fisher having been exposed to this program accompanied the Ohio School Boards Association. So they're coming as a result of her invitation.
Thank you, Ms. Courtney. Even though Ms. Courtney did a lot of backhand work.
I'm sure she
She's
did.
so humble.
I'm sure she did. Do either of you want to tell us what it, well, we've read what it's about. Can you tell us why you thought it was important for our schools?
Oh, sure. I attended a workshop at the OSBA conference, and it was called Wide Tribe. It was very interesting, and I felt a lot of things that he presented could help our children. They're already doing well, but anything helps to,
Right.
keep them on track. It deals with resilience and education for all students, so it's not just certain ones.
Okay, thank you.
It'd be really nice. They're actually flying in and doing this for free, and it usually costs. And I looked it up on the website, and they have proven results. So,
Good. And it's not costing us anything.
not a thing at this time.
Very good. Thank you.
Good.
I wanted them to know that. Okay, let's go to the recommendations of the superintendent. Ms. Corley?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to recommend for approval those items listed under recommendations of the superintendent found on page 2.
Madam President, I move that we approve the recommendations of the superintendent on page 2. I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the recommendations or approve the recommendations of the superintendent found on page 2. Any questions or discussion?
Yes, Madam President. Just for the record, we did have a public meeting, and just to put it in minutes, we did have a public meeting on these appointments.
And that is correct. Would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Ms. Westbrook?
Yes.
Dr. Keenan?
Yes.
Ms. Avery-Prease?
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will go to the reason for our meeting tonight, to approve the minutes of the meetings that were tabled so that we'll stay up to date. Let's go to the April 13th meeting. That's the first one on the list. Have you had a chance to look at your minutes? I had a question, and on the page where it says reports of committees, the bottom of the page says 15. I guess it's correct, but I don't have the inside of it.
What page are you
Page
on?
15?
15, where it says, Roman numeral 6. At the top, reports of committees. And my question was, where are the committee reports? Either they did or didn't have a report, but nothing's written in there in regards to their reports.
This one says no report.
It does, mine doesn't say. Maybe you have a corrected one?
These that are clipped are all the final correction.
That's not, it's not corrected.
Mine is.
Mine isn't, because mine just said reports of committee and it starts out welfare and public relations. And you know, education
Wait,
always have a.
Is this April 13th?
April 13th, yes.
Well, this one has no report.
That's what I have.
What do you see yours?
This is on the new section that gave us
No,
today.
I do not have that.
What page is
Education
it on that?
always have a report. Always.
Education has a report. The report is listed here.
On this one
And it
does.
says that the item was moved to section 8.
Oh, it's not, just not in order.
Okay.
Page 20. Mine does not say no report anywhere.
Look on page 2.
So it's not, just not in order? Is that it?
Page 2 has the education committee.
Okay, no report, buildings and grounds.
Buildings and grounds, no report. Education doesn't say anything.
It
These
It
are,
starts with the resolution.
okay. So it's on 2 pages, am I correct? Ms.
No, I-
Moore?
Well, the report,
I think it's a
education, the
continuation.
title is on page 2.
Yes. it's a
And the
continuation.
resolutions are on page 3.
Mhm.
It's a continuation.
It just, right, it's a continuation.
So this is the correct one, okay. Any other questions regarding April the 13th? If not, may I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report,
This is the minutes.
the minutes?
Madam President, I make a motion we accept the minutes for April 13th.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes for April the 13th, 2015. Any other questions or discussion?
Yes, Madam President, my vote will be because I was a late arrival at 7:25. So I remember being at this meeting very late, near the evening.
Oh, that needs to be added.
It's on here,
Where is it?
on the first page. There's a
Okay.
late arrival at
So
7:25.
what's wrong with it?
My vote will be because of this, because I wasn't here for the vote. I came at the very end of this
Oh,
meeting.
I see.
I just wanted to get on the record.
You want to be on the record and saying you're not voting for it because you weren't really here to hear what happened.
Yeah, my vote will be.
Any other questions or discussion?
But, okay, the meeting ran considerably long, so Ms. Fisher was here longer than she realized. Because I'm looking over here, it looked like 8:48,
8:53.
8:53 when you adjourned. So you were here for, you only missed what, 10 or 15 minutes. I don't know where we were when you came in.
Yeah, there's
But you did not, you didn't miss, you could not have missed much, because we went into executive session at 8:43,
I remember that.
and,
The thing, I don't know anything about all of these, treasurer's exhibit 5 is in the back,
and,
yeah.
and that would have been discussed in committees the Friday before. You know, I'm not discouraging you from keeping your vote to yourself, but I'm just saying that you were here for more than you think, more than parts of you realize. I don't remember this treasury stuff at all. Oh, Justin. Oh, this graduate, yes, I do. I see it. I
The
remember.
corrections and modifications of the board minutes and stuff, there's a slew of them,
The page
starting on page 31.
31.
Yeah, I don't, it's a lot of it, and from 2013, yeah.
the memo that, the instruction that I got from Chris Williams. I don't know if you recall that.
Right, I do.
Okay, that,
You said page
what
31.
that was from.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's,
It starts there.
that's not my page 31.
My page, they want correction and modifications.
That's it.
That's not my
That's
page
what I'm
31.
at.
That's not my page 31.
Now, 30, I see you on 30. I should
That's
have that.
31.
Yeah.
That's a different page.
You know, I think you're looking at a different exhibit because the front of yours has a big draft and
I'm
what
ju-
we're, here, why don't you take the.
I'm just saying, this is what I have, the Monday, April 13th, these are the minutes that I just took out of the pile you gave me.
Right?
So, I mean, if I take yours, it's still, I'm voting on something here, what I have. This is 31.
Turn the front of it. Yeah. This will be.
Yeah.
Well, this is,
It has a,
okay, wait.
Is that
okay.
one you wrote?
All right, wait a minute.
it has the,
Okay, just give me a second.
okay.
Let me see.
Very well.
Okay, so this is not what I'm voting on.
This is the revised one. I'll call it revised.
Okay, so now I have to, so these corrections and modifications are corrections from within this? These are the corrections?
The corrections and modifications are the result of a list that I received from Chris Williams when we had depositions. And he kept track of the notes and told me to make those adjustments, and that's what it is.
I do recall that.
I really got that. Okay. But I didn't expect to remember all of this from.
No, we're going back pretty far.
It's kind of difficult.
Any other questions or discussion? Would you call the roll, please, Ms. Noel?
Ms. Westbrooks?
Yes.
Ms. Avery-Prease?
Yes.
Dr. Keenan?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes, so April 13th has been approved. The next one is June the 8th.
Nope. April.
We had one in
Let
April.
me,
May.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
we have May.
May 14th. Yep. Okay.
So this is the one we're working
And I had put at the top table, do we have a new May 14th? This is it, right?
In the packet.
Okay. And the reason why we tabled it was because the communications. Okay.
I don't think there's any changes made to this one.
What happened was, we had the communications with Mr. Lockhart, and then the discussion items came as a meeting with Mr. Lockhart, a special meeting to discuss the merger. It was more explained in the new one.
I have the exact same things. Just the one I brought with me, and it's identical.
Can I see the one you brought, if you don't mind?
No problem. It's
The only thing I noticed that was unusual are the motions. If you look at the motions, or the resolution numbers, you have 118A, B, and C, which is, that happens when the numbers, when you miss a number, and you notice it after something's been adopted.
So the 118A and
But-
118B,
But that's on Ms. Westbrook's earlier well, this is.
It's on the
Oh,
main
it's the
one,
same,
too.
it's the same one.
Right, I
It's
said nothing.
722, 722. This, we're looking at this, exactly the
Exact
same
same.
one.
That's why I say I have no difference in the,
Yeah.
When I brought.
I was looking for a different date of the draft.
I have nothing different.
the one I brought did not have it put like that, but it is in the new.
The ABC,
It has the ABC, but it has the discussion items differently. So the one we are asked to approve is the one with the discussion items and the ABC, right?
yes.
Okay. Are there any other questions or discussions in regards to this May 14th minutes? Hearing none, would you call the roll, Ms. Noah?
We don't have a motion.
Madam
We need
President,
a motion and a second.
Madam
Okay.
President, I move that we approve the
Thank you.
minutes for Thursday, May 14th, 2015.
I second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the minutes for May 14th, 2015. Now, any questions or discussion? Would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Ms. Avery-Prease.
Yes.
Dr. Keenan,
Yes.
Ms. Westbrooks.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. That's May the 14th. The next one is June the 8th.
May
I
19th.
got May 19th.
May 19th.
I got,
I'm going from side to
it's
side.
hard.
Do we have a new May 19th? What was the difference in this one? I'm looking on page 2, I see something just off the bat. And page 2 has discussion on resolution to authorize a contract with and payment to Ohio Facilities Construction Commission. It's motion by Tiffany Fisher, seconded by Ms. Westbrooks, but there are no votes.
No, there's no.
No votes on it.
No.
But the votes is under, on page 4.
But they should
For
be
that,
together with
yeah,
each
I'm
other.
on, it was under the discussion.
Under page 4,
Page 4 is the vote.
I see. So it's in the wrong place.
Yeah, man, wait a second. Oh.
The motion should be under, on page 4 too, under the resolution. The motion be here and then the vote, instead of on page 2.
It looks like a motion was made after discussion, but you weren't in the buildings and grounds section yet.
This is that's an education, is that buildings and grounds?
Buildings and grounds.
You have it on 2 different, yes, you have it on 2 different places. Under communicate, I'm sorry, under discussion, and then under the resolution of buildings and grounds.
And the votes are on page 4.
But
if
the motion
Ms.
would not
Fisher-
have been made under discussion items. The motion would have had to have been after the resolution was
No,
read.
the motion comes first. The motion comes first,
Okay,
then
but it's not in the right
discussion.
place.
Also, if Ms. Fisher made the motion, she would have been the first to vote, but it has the A's, me being first, as if I made the motion and Dr. Keenan seconded. And then, that's the way it looks, based on,
May
Frank, if I
14th.
named it.
okay, but if you made the motion, then your name should have been before the vote, the A's. It should, if you
And
made.
it should not be up there. It never
Absolutely.
tells, does it? We go by the way the votes come in. remember at the beginning, there's nobody said the person who
Right.
name is first made the vote, made the motion.
Mhm.
It's over here in the wrong spot, number one, and it shouldn't even be
In the
there.
wrong order, number 2.
Yeah. So the motion shouldn't even be there at all. We're supposed to know by looking at this who made the motion.
So that is gonna be,
So Ms. Fisher, you made the motion, voted no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
so,
So that doesn't work.
it doesn't make sense.
How could you make the motion and then?
That's the only way you can get it on the table to talk about it. Someone has to make the motion. That's the only way you're gonna discuss it.
But the,
But her name would have been called first on the vote, and so her name should have been first. It appears as if I made the motion and Dr. Keenan seconded based on,
and at the beginning, for the record, the first Board of Education member listed above the roll, among the roll call represents the member who made
who
the
made
motion.
the motion.
And Ms. Fisher's name is at the beginning.
Okay, Ms. Fisher made a motion, and it was seconded by Ms. Westbrooks. Okay, that's why that's there.
That's why what's there,
Uh,
at what point?
The page 2,
But it shouldn't have been under discussion.
that's where it was. That, I'm looking at how it was written on the sheet here.
It doesn't mean it was right, because that's the way it was written. That's what we're saying, that it doesn't make it right, because that's the way it was written.
That's incorrect. I believe I made a motion during discussion.
That's,
Well,
I
these-
remember this conversation.
Well, these are all discussion items, but here's the detail on it. If you want to look at that. So it looks like they're just, it wasn't withdrawn, but then you made another motion and another second for the resolution.
So you're saying she made one during discussion and then another one?
And then
during-
another one, yes. Yes, made another one.
Can't say that.
okay, but
But-
still,
but
all
the
right,
vo- But the votes are,
you only have one set of votes, so there's still, this motion is out there by itself.
it's out there by itself, that is correct. It is out there by itself, and the roll was never called on it. And then,
So
A
you're
motion
telling
was
me,
made
okay,
again.
so you,
Was
which
it
is,
second? Was it second?
according to that sheet, you're right, the motion was never, the roll call was never called on.
okay, so,
those
so we're
first
saying, for one, this has to be incorrect, or something is incorrect. I know, I keep hearing you say according to this sheet, but that's the whole idea, according to this sheet, it's wrong. I mean, that's why we're here, right? Because according to the minutes, there are some errors there. So, if there's a motion that's out there incomplete, are you saying we went on to read the resolution?
Yes.
And left that motion, you're saying we did that?
Yes, yes.
Why would we do that?
You probably went into discussion.
But no, discussion was first.
No,
That's what,
No, I don't mean that. I mean when you have a motion and a second, and then the president calls for discussion after the motions. And I don't know what happened. I'm listed as being at this meeting, but I was not at this meeting.
let's say, who?
Oh, no, I have excused absence.
Let
So,
us see that.
It is, but on, if I can hand it to you, Ms. Westbrook. On this note from Ms. East,
no, that's my note,
Oh,
to
your
Ms.
note?
East.
okay.
I was interpreting the tally sheet.
Do you have the tally sheet? Who has the tally?
There's only, on here is only, it's nothing on here about making a motion during discussion.
No, it's on there.
So, this here, is this informing Ms. East on what to do about this? You know, it's confusing.
Yes, these are the instructions to Miss East, yes.
What are the instructions? Because I hear, I saw something, I saw something up there where it says that I called you.
You couldn't have called me, I was in the hospital.
Well, okay, when you had this
I think
paper,
I
you
had-
had-
I
I
think-
said, Miss Westbrook called me, I thought I read that. Miss Westbrook's called me with the particulars concerning a special board meeting of the Board of Education held 5/19. Please see below. So I called somebody.
Okay, then
You said these
must
are
have,
your,
you must have them. I don't know.
Madam President,
Yes.
in my opinion, under the discussion items for this final draft, I believe that motion by Tiffany Fisher and second by Ms. Westbrook should be removed because of the respondents between our treasurer and her secretary. It's not the same as this, it's not in there.
That's what I had on my paper, delete.
Delete this. So that's.
And also that under, on page 4, that the nay for myself, Ms. Fisher, should be above the A's, because I did make that motion.
Should be above the,
Yes, because I made the motion. So my name should appear first, correct?
well, not when it, no, not when, the ayes always are
Always
first.
first.
Yes.
Maybe there should be
Yes.
a parenthesis to say that motion was made by Ms. Fisher, seconded by Ms. Westbrook, but not up here.
And that's
Put it in
probably,
here.
that's probably why that's there.
Right.
Okay.
no,
So do you want me to just move that,
We could.
I'll just move that sentence right above the votes,
Yes.
if everybody agrees with that.
Doesn't that
That's
cha-
fine.
doesn't that change the first paragraph on all of the minutes that says the first board member's name that's listed in the roll call represent the member who made the vote, made the motion? Doesn't, what you just said, doesn't that change this statement? Okay, because if you're saying that Ms. Fisher made the motion and then afterwards she voted
no.
nay, then this statement cannot be right. That means,
For that instance, you're correct.
Why don't you say?
You're correct, because generally when a person makes a
motion,
motion,
they-
they vote yes.
well, no, because
And it-
Bohoviac always makes, to get it on the table, to talk about it, she'll make the motion and then vote it down.
But if,
But to get it on the table, that's,
you're correct. So that's why Dr. Keenan is suggesting that I move that motion by Tiffany Fisher, seconded by Ms. Westbrooks, move that sentence above the votes.
Why don't you in the beginning of the sentence say an exception? To show that this is because of the way it was voted.
you say, an exception.
Yeah, an exception.
Okay, but then you're still not gonna know if I don't move the sentence, you're not gonna know
No,
that
I'm
Ms.
just saying
Fisher.
put that in front of the sentence. The asterisk, exception.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
In front of the, move the sentence
Uh-huh.
and put an asterisk in front of the sentence that says an exception.
Right.
Okay.
Then that would be an exception to the rule that you have on the front page.
Okay,